Hello, mine friends. Welcome to my forest. Passion forest, I like to call it. Time and money. These are two things that most people are stuck in this never-ending circular pattern of not having enough time, not having enough money, combination of both of them simultaneously, usually. And I've actually found a solution to both of those problems. You know, too much month at the end of the money. If only there was a 25th hour in the day, I could get so much more done. Oh my God. But then that 25th hour is going to have another 25th hour of expenses. And then further in the hole of not enough time and money you go. So that's not the solution either, as it turns out. I guess some people are going to be like, well, if I could have that 25th hour but without the 25th hour of expenses, and it's like, okay, well now you're just living in fantasy land. That's never going to happen. You're screwed. Unless you're willing to change your mind, you're screwed. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to couple this with a story. As you notice, I couple everything with stories because I want you guys to know I'm not full of BS and just pulling stuff out of my butt like some people do. But it's proven in other people's lives. I've got a life that proves a lot of things, and there's a lot of other people that have lives that proves a lot of things on both sides of the fence, the negative side and the positive side. And it all comes down to a change of mind. So, first story. One of my mentors, former mentors, great lady. She was working 100 hours a week, sometimes 120. Well, she had a nervous breakdown eventually. I mean, who wouldn't? And her income suffered. And then one thing led to another, and she had an amazing change of mind, a change of priorities, which followed the change of mind, different life priorities, better ones, if you ask me. And she learned some new skills, and at that point, she reduced her hours from 100 hours to only 20 hours a week, and in doing so, multiplied her income by times 4. She didn't lose money, she multiplied it. Average thinking says, well, if you work less, you're just gonna make less. That's only true if you have a job. And if you work more hours at a job, you're gonna lose more money and you're gonna be penalized more through taxes. So that's not financially sound either. A job just isn't financially sound, just so you know. Not saying jobs are bad, just as a way to make money. It's the most destructive idea on anybody's brain. Okay, back to my former mentor. So she learned some new skills, different priorities. All of that followed a massive change in her mind. She cut her hours from 100 to only 20 and multiplied her income times 4, and she's doing even better since then. This gives her her freedom of time, her freedom to be with her family more, because that's her life's priorities. Her life priority changed from her work to my family and my spiritual side are my priorities. So now I'm only going to work 20 hours a week instead of 100 and spend more time with them doing those things. And multiplied her income times 4. And the multiplying of her income times 4 gives her that option of only having to work 20 hours a week. Actually, she doesn't have to work at all, to be honest with you. She does it because it's a labor of love for her. What she does, she positively impacts many people's lives, including yours truly. I've learned a lot from this woman. She's incredible. So that's the first story I wanted to share with you. You can make tons more money, which isn't even about the money. You can make so much money that you can actually take your focus off of money and off of your bills because they disappear when you make that kind of money. And you can put all of your time into your labors of love, your family, your spiritual side, and whatever is important to you. Okay, so pretty cool, right? All right, the next story I'm gonna share with you is, it's gonna be mine, yours truly. Pretty cool, right? All right, so when I got started in this experience of ownership and learning some new skills and breaking away from money, working for money, at least breaking away from having to perpetually steal my time from my family and out of my life to keep earning a dollar, when I got out of that nonsensical business of having a job for the sake of making money, I actually came to this place where I could work less hours, I can work no hours, and my life is totally afforded. My bills are totally afforded. I bought a house in cash, totally afforded. I don't have to work anymore either. I had totally different set of circumstances than my mentor did. I had my own set. Everybody's got their own set of circumstances. And I'm telling you, the big thing here, this is exactly what it is. I mentioned it earlier. You have to have a change of your mind. Your circular pattern that you're stuck in of not enough time, not enough money. It's been that way last year, the year before that. It's like that today. It's going to be like that next year and the year after that, except it's not going to stay exactly the same. it's going to imminently get worse. Even if you don't recognize it at first, you'll come to a day you're like, oh crap, now shit's really hitting the fan. It will get worse. It absolutely will. Because even though you may not be changing your mindset and you're clinging to the old ideas that are very expired ideas that's keeping you stuck where you're at, the world is constantly changing. Everybody knows that the only thing that stays the same is everything changes, right? The number one skill of survivability is being able to adapt to those changes, and not many people do that. A lot of people hold on to great ideas that were great 30 years ago or 20 years ago or maybe even last month. Sometimes you have to check the expiration date on your ideas and realize what was great yesterday is not a great idea today. In fact, it will do just the opposite to you today. I've seen that happen many times because people refuse to keep learning and keep adapting to how things change. So that's not it, because there's a lot of people stuck in this cycle of, I'll just wait until my circumstances improve, till whatever gets better, and then I'll make a change. And that's foolish. That never works that way. That is just as illogical as the farmer saying, I'll wait till I got some crops until I'm ready to sow seed. It doesn't work that way, but a lot of us live our lives that way, and we wonder why things never improve. So anxious to improve our circumstances, but we are not anxious to improve ourselves. Be anxious to improve yourself. Change your mind. Everything else follows. All your freedoms that you want so badly. All of that is preceded by freedom of the mind, to change your mind. You've changed your mind in the past. You've already proven you can change your mind again. But maybe this time you can learn some new things, put some better ideas into your brain, and change your mind in a way, unlike the past maybe, that is actually in alignment with your priorities. Whatever that is, your family, a spiritual side, whatever that is, your priorities can totally thrive. You can take your focus completely off of money and detach how you spend your time from your income, which will give you your freedom of time, because at that point, then money keeps pouring in regardless if you work or you're with your family not working. That's freedom. That is freedom. Having a job is not freedom, unless you're totally covered financially outside of the job. But who is? I'd say 999 people out of 1,000 people that have a job are not covered, except for their job. And their job requires them to keep stealing time, or they stop getting paid. Then they lose their ability to keep the lights on at home and nourish and feed their family. I am very pro people. I'm pro workers. I'm pro employers. I'm pro employees. I'm pro people. I am anti the slavery that most people have themselves locked inside of, all starting with really bad ideas in their brain that do not line up with what they say their priorities are. If your priority is to be free and to be a provider for your family and security and stability and all that, then there's no congruence between those priorities you have and wanting a job for the sake of how they pay you. And if your solution is to just make more money at a job, that doesn't line up with it either. That just makes you more enslaved to money, and you actually get penalized more. The more money that you make at a job, the more you get penalized outright by taxes. That doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't line up with any desire to take care of your family or desire to create freedom. It doesn't even line up with your desire to positively impact other people and inspire other people to find their way as they carve out their path for whatever their priorities are for them. It has nothing to do with those things. If you want a job, let it be because you love having a job and you're covered because you built something in your spare time that has residual and passive money. There's your keys right there. Residual and passive money. That's the only income type that creates any freedom. There is no other income type that creates freedom because it demands you keep stealing your time. Most self-employed people are more enslaved to the dollar than people with a job. And there's a myth out there that says if you're self-employed, you got more freedom. That's true for very few self-employed people. Most self-employed people, in my opinion, do it completely wrong. And as a matter of fact, most self-employed people do it in a way that has no congruence with freedom and complete congruence with shackles and binds of slavery. No fun, in my opinion. No fun. I think most people would agree with me that's no fun. I hope you got value from this video. I hope your big takeaway is that if you're stuck in the circular pattern of not enough time, not enough money, that your takeaway is you need to change your mind. You need to swap out some beliefs that you've had with some better beliefs that are in alignment with your priorities. And then from there, you can be on the search. You may not even know what it's gonna look like, but you can at least be like, you know what? I made a decision. Things are gonna change. I'm going to be on a search to finding a better way. Then at least you're on the search even if you have no idea what you're doing yet. But if you're not on a search, you'll never know how to get what you want, and you'll never know that there's a better way out there for you to get what you want. And a lot of people aren't even on the search, and that's stupid. It's never anybody's lack of skill that makes somebody stupid. What makes somebody truly stupid is when they're not even out there looking for answers or doing anything to develop this incredible brain that they have. I'm very much a fan of you and this inner genius that you have that maybe you've kept asleep and numbed out for a long time. And if that's the case, I'm a fan of you waking up that sleeping giant so that you can tap into this incredible brain that you've been given, and you can stop underestimating yourself and your power that you have inside of yourself to create massive change that spills out way beyond just yourself. It has incredible impact over a very large landscape of all kinds of different people. That's like the tip of the iceberg of what you're capable of, but maybe you don't know it because you've been sold this bullshit stuff that society and mediocre programmed thinking that's out there in the media, and what maybe well-intended friends and family say to you, and who knows what else. Okay? Okay, if you got value from this, please share this with other people. This is something that needs to get out there more. We need to be a fan of each other's inner genius and be more encouraging of each other in a loving way to pull our inner geniuses out and to do things that might make us uncomfortable but pushes us to grow and helps us push past our excuses. Because an excuse is nothing but a bad ego trip. We make it all about ourselves, and nobody is being served when we have excuses. Nobody is being served when you're coming up with perfectly good reasons why so-and-so is successful and why you're not successful. That is a big, bad, flippin' ego trip, and ego trips are deadly. And you rob everyone you were supposed to inspire when you start talking like that. Well, Tom is successful because he had XYZ, and I don't have XYZ, so I can't be. I've never walked in your shoes before. You're totally right. How long you want to stay there? Oh, dear God. No matter what, if you want to get into the comparing yourself to other people game, there's always somebody who had it worse than you who figured it out. If that doesn't light you up to say, okay, somebody had it worse than me who figured it out, I can do it too. I hope it does, man. Okay, if you got value, please share. I've also got a website, fireyourboss.xyz, not .com.xyz, fireyourboss.xyz. Thousands of pieces of content. It's free. Pull out whatever makes sense for you to meet you where you're at now, to help you where you want to go. It's all to do with health, healing, happiness, wealth, freedom, philanthropy. It's a labor of love for me. And I hope that you find something in it that you can take away from it that helps you out and helps you help other people too at the same time. That's a pretty cool deal. Bye for now. Enjoy the rest of the day. Coming at you live from my forest in my backyard. Passion forest. Look, just call it that. Be a spiritual gangsta. I'll close it with that message right there. High vibrational living. I'll just say the spiritual gangster within you is the inner genius within you. Only when you tap into that inner genius, then spiritual gangster all the way. Bye for now. Next video coming soon. I love making these.